Hey there, quirky folks! Spider-Man No Way Home is still doing wonders at the theaters, but today I'm gonna make you look far beyond into the future. Till now, Sony and Marvel's deal was to have Spider-Man appear in No Way Home and another MCU crossover event. Now we don't know which movie or TV show will carry Spidey's next appearance. Maybe it could be in Doctor Strange 2, The Marvels, or Fantastic Four. We'll have to wait and see. But after the massive success of Spider-Man No Way Home, we're sure that Spidey is going to stay in the MCU for the longest time possible. Amy Pascal has already talked about another trilogy for him in the MCU. Now that hasn't been officially announced, but we all know that it is going to happen. So, let's talk about everything we know of MCU Spider-Man 4 so far. First, the director. Jon Watts is out as Marvel has already handed him the responsibility to direct Fantastic Four. So, Spider-Man 4 or perhaps the next whole trilogy will have a new director. Next, the title trend. The Homecoming trilogy has officially ended, so we should not expect any new titles with the words home in them. The next trilogy could start a new pattern though. The release date. Since Marvel and Sony are yet to announce their newly inked deal of Spider-Man and his MCU appearances, it is safe to say that it will have at least a couple years before we get another Spider-Man movie. We know that Sony likes to fast-track Spider-Man movies. They brought us 3 Spider-Man movies in 5 years. Every one of those had a 1-year interval. But I believe that we'll at least have to wait until 2024 to see Spider-Man 4. Sony and Disney could retreat back to its July release window for the film. That's because the December window has been given to Avatar 3 already. So yes, July 2024 is my prediction. But even with an unforeseen delay, the movie will not be pushed beyond 2025. Now, the cast. Tom Holland is obviously going to return. There's no need for him to jump to the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters now, as No Way Home brought back 2 other Spider-Men. So, it's likely that Andrew Garfield will take over the reins in that universe. Meanwhile, in the MCU, we should definitely see the return of Ned, MJ, and even Flash. J.K. Simmons should also be back as J. Jonah Jameson. And I believe that Spider-Man 4 will also feature Miles Morales. Actor Miles Brown also attended the world premiere of No Way Home, and many people believe that he was cast as Miles Morales, but his cameo was deleted. Well, if that is the case, then it should surely happen in Spider-Man 4. Up next, we'll talk about the narrative. Tom Holland confirmed that he will be following Peter Parker through his college years. But No Way Home showed us that the world had entirely forgotten about Peter Parker's existence. Now, for those who don't know, GED is a test you take to obtain an alternative to a high school diploma. Only after clearing the GED exam could Peter apply for a college or basic jobs. So, it is highly unlikely that Peter would get enrolled in MIT. His entire academic record from Midtown School of Science and Technology has been erased by Strange's spell. So Pete will really have to start from scratch and work his way up from there on. We'll watch him struggle to cope up with college, a job that allows him to earn enough to meet his daily expenses, and being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in his awesome new suit. Okay, that was everything confirmed about the 4th installment. But now, let's talk about the rumors and possibilities. Since Spider-Man is such an amazing and friendly character in the comics, his future literally has an infinite number of possibilities. We know that Sony likes to have other MCU characters in Spider-Man movies. And in Spider-Man 4, the web-slinger could literally be teaming up with multiple heroes. We could see him mentor a young Miles Morales. No Way Home gave us a setup for Spider-Man and Daredevil's team-up. He could even train with Shang-Chi, or perhaps Deadpool could show up. I wouldn't be surprised if the Fantastic Four or just the Human Torch showed up in the film. But it is highly logical that Peter Parker will come across the Venom symbiote. I'm not saying a multiversal crossover event with Tom Hardy's Venom. That might come later down the line. But in Spider-Man 4, the part of Venom that was left in the MCU during the recent post-credits scene could unite with Peter. We could surely get a real black suit Spider-Man. Another possibility that I can think of is that Peter could find a new love interest. Now bear with me for a moment. I know he loves MJ, and he might try to become friends with her again. But it is likely that he'd go to a different college now. So we might see the introduction of a potential new love interest there. It could be Gwen Stacy, or it could be some other smaller character from the comics like Sissy Ironwood. I guess we'll see. But before we end this video, I'd like to talk about the bad guys. There are several that already exist in the MCU. Matt Gargan could become Scorpion. Kraven would have also been nice, but he is getting a solo outing in the SPUMC now, so we'll have to look past him. Kingpin vs. Spider-Man has already enticed fans, and everyone knows that he did not die in Hawkeye. So maybe Peter could take on the boss of organized crime. Many believe that Mysterio didn't die. Team Mysterio is still around, so maybe he could return. And Donald Glover's Aaron Davis could also become the Prowler. It will be interesting to see which other bad guys will pop up from the long list of Spider-Man's rogues gallery. But the villain that people might be most excited to see is Ned's Hobgoblin. He did promise Peter that he'd never become bad and try to kill him. But now, he doesn't know about Peter at all. So maybe he could become Hobgoblin and take on Spider-Man. But this time, things have to be built up towards a Sinister Six team. This is the only way Marvel might be able to outdo what they've done with No Way Home. Okay, that's all from us. Let us know what you would like to see in the next Spider-Man movie. Should Peter take on someone like Rhino? Should he get a new love interest? Who should he team up with? Let us know your thoughts and ideas in the comments. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to check out some more fun content. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!